Which group has naturalistic intelligence? Can you stand up and describe to us what your card says and why?
Alright. This group is teaching a physics course in college. Scenario. While having a lecture on solar energy, you may notice many of your students were not taking notes. Next class, you decide to give them a pop quiz and notice many of your students do not understand solar energy. You have taken them outdoors and noticed the students are more involved, but being an awesome professor you are, you decide that you should do something else. So you approach your faculty. As staff members, it is your job to come up with an idea that keep students engaged, yet still learning about science. With an unlimited budget, come up with an idea to help your students make a role connection, making it not only fun, but interactive. So, we decided to take them out to a solar panel farm or whatever, and then we decided to come back and use Play-Doh to make solar panel farms in houses.
That looks like mushrooms. Okay. Linguistics. Does anybody have linguistic? Well, we'll figure it out.
That might be that group that's not here.
No, it's somebody in this room that has it. But we'll figure it out later, and I'll explain why. Musical. You don't have to read the whole
Oh
card.
no, I'm sorry.
You're great. You're great.
Thank you.
Alright, so basically we are teaching a kindergarten class and our kids are learning how to read. They can recognize words pretty well, but another teacher was bragging about her students in the teacher's lounge, and you felt like your students, or we felt like our students were falling behind. So we asked the teacher what he did for his students, and he said that his students tapped and clapped out the words. And then we realized this month was Dr. Seuss month, so we thought that we would kind of steal his idea.
What are the alphabets for? You know?
We were gonna have words right here. We were gonna have pick a word and then kind of come up with one or two that rhyme with that word and kind of put it in a song, and then use the Altoids to do the beat in the song.
Ooh, that's pretty good. Good job. Okay, who had visual and spatial? Spatial, sorry.
Alright, so this is the description. This group is a teaching and special education class. The scenario is Mrs. Pulling is reading the class a book on parks without pictures. While she reads the book, you notice Adam and Jessica have their eyes closed, and Mrs. Pulling thought that they were sleeping, so she asked them to open their eyes until she was done. After reading, she asked the class to tell her something about the park. When it came to Adam and Jessica, they drew a picture. While another aide was helping out, Mrs. Pulling asked you to assist Adam and Jessica in understanding the book, and then discuss how your team would assist Adam and Jessica. So everybody hold up your pictures. We got our parks that we drew.
Is that a roller coaster?
Yeah, it's a theme park.
Okay.
And then she's got
Yellowstone,
And-
National
Ooh.
and she's got a water park, and we were like thinking like give them images to look at on the different parks that are being discussed, and then kind of ask them about their experience, maybe ever being in a park, just kind of relate it to their self.
That's pretty good. Good job. How about intra-intelligence? Intra. Personal intelligence.
Our scenario was with 9th grade history, and it's a lesson over the Civil War. When assigning group work or individual work, you notice Jason works most of the time by himself. When papers are assigned, you also notice he does very poorly on them. You know he's a good kid and you want him to succeed, but you are unsure if your practices are working. Discuss with your fellow teachers to see what type of learner Jason is and what kind of assignments could you give him in order to succeed.
Okay, so we have a letter, and it has a lot of grammatical errors and punctuational errors, and we figured that we could give this to him, and it's like a Civil War letter, and he could go through and fix all the mistakes that are
that are made within this so he could start improving on his writing skills to know what he's doing wrong.
Good, good job. How about modeling kinesthetics?
This is a third grade PE class, and the students have trouble sitting still. They focus levels off the charts, and Billy can't remember which planet is first, Jupiter or Saturn. And so the PE teacher has to go with the teacher and help them learn the solar system order.
So for the PE class, we were gonna have the students be the planets and then have Billy be the ones that he has struggles remembering. And so he's gonna be like Jupiter, and then they would be the planets and go in the order of the planets go and move the way.
Interpersonal intelligence. Read that. Okay, well, all right. Mathematical and logical. Oh, wow. Two of you.
Yeah. 3.
Two of you are incorrect.
You told me.
So, well, not necessarily, but for this example.
What
This.
you can do is just we'll go in
Explain,
order.
explain why you think it's mathematical. Just explain why you think it is. And then we'll go through and we'll figure out what.
I'm just gonna understand.
Go for it.
Okay, this group will be working with 7th graders on math skills. The scenario is you recently started geometry, many of your students are struggling to understand. So you are over 2 weeks behind, and basically you've been trying to assign extra work and nothing's working to get these kids to understand. So you have to come up with a way to make them learn it.
So why do you think you guys were mathematical? I mean, you're right, because it is math.
Well, we talked about several different ones. We just stuck with math because it said math. But it also said that students were working well together and were learning when they had others helping them. So we thought that maybe that it was interpersonal. Yeah.
The second option is correct. Does anybody know why the second option is correct? I mean, mathematical's still right, because it's geometry and it says so. But why would the second option be correct? Peyton explained it. I mean, I want somebody else to explain it, so that way I know that you guys understood. Nope. Nobody? Okay. It says they worked well together in groups with other people. That was one of the things I highlighted on my answer key to give you a clue that that's interpersonal. So that's how that would work for that one.
Real scenario, it's 11th grade chemistry, the week before spring break turn up. Mr. Jones decided to see how many of the students know the periodic table. Unfortunately, her brain was on spring break already, and she forgot to teach them. That's not good. When Ms. Jones returned, she learned that she's getting evaluated in 2 weeks, so she starts to panic. On the same day, she's supposed to be given the test, and now her students have no idea what's going on. She comes to another teacher, us, for some advice on how we taught our students the periodic table. So we suggested her, right here, we suggested her, give them quiz forms and puzzle form quizzes, and a test to see where they were at the beginning, or where they were in the middle, and over spring break, since they actually have no idea what's going on.
So what was your activity?
We actually just kind of did like a puzzle, and then we spent a quiz as well.
That's cool. They're correct for that one. But your guys are still not wrong. I'm saying.
No, it's okay.
Okay, so when is your...
Well, I mean, we originally thought it was bodily kinesthetic, but then another group took it, so we just kind of were like, oh, okay, well, it says math, so we'll go with math. You want me to
Yes.
Scenario. Today you decided to teach your students addition and subtraction. Quickly you noticed that some students want to tell you about their night last night. You asked them politely to focus on the equation on the board, but you noticed that the students are not answering the problem correctly. You ask them what number, and the students quickly start to lose focus, so you switch to something else. After school, you discussed with the other teachers about the issue, and it seems like every classroom had that problem. Discuss and figure out how to make math more interesting to the students.
what was your guys' original idea?
Since this is first grade, they're learning subtraction and addition. We were gonna have them like roll up balls with Play-Doh and add and subtract with Play-Doh balls. Kind of a hands-on,
You
so
have
that's why we
10,
kind of
take
thought
away
it
4,
was.
how many do you have?
Yeah.
You guys
Body.
did, that's really good. The original one was linguistic. The original instruction worksheet that has fish on it. And they were gonna, it says, shade in the bubbles that are 1 through 6, 7 to 9, and 10 to red. I'll bring it back here so you guys.
That's how it's linguistic, or what in the scenario offers that it's.
Yeah, and that's the way you can make it work, so that way they're incorporating math with each other. You can also do, this could work too, like it's the same thing, it can work. The reason why we did this project was to see the variability through different teachers' perspectives. All of you had really great ideas, but it's also to address different learning techniques as well. And I know a lot of you did not have like your field at all or your grades at all. And the reason why we wanted to do that was because we wanted you to see how it can vary throughout their lifespan or throughout their living span. Just because they like to play Play-Doh now doesn't mean in high school they won't. But I mean, for college kids, we still play with Play-Doh. So, does anybody have any questions before we get to review one more time? Anybody? Nope.
So again, you all did a really good job. And
Quincy's making a caterpillar.
Not everybody can face the same situation and the same. And I just want to let you know, the important thing is that you need to know your students to be able to understand how to capture their attention and keep their attention. This survey that you guys took today, I found it online for free, so all you gotta do is Google it and you can print it. And also, this is helping you to be flexible. Like you took a situation, and even it might not have matched our scenarios, but it still worked. They all were really great. The most important thing that you should take from this is that the key as future educators is to create meaningful learning, because meaningful learning will lead to comprehension, which is what you want for your students. So, thank you.